Okay, so this is my 1v1 team game. I forget what we were playing. I think it might be the Blitzing Panthers. Anyways, I am playing against Frisky Cow. I decided after I did my G1 turn, so I'm Axis this turn, this game. Well, this might be an interesting game to record because he's a very brilliant player, very very intelligent player. So it's going to be interesting to start with. And he did a West Russia Jam opening, which, I've faced this I think once before against Emre, maybe twice. But I know it's only Emre that I've faced against it, so this will be a different person running it. My previous games, the first couple rounds were a little bit different, but then by like round 3 or 4, it kind of turned into a normal game, which is intriguing to me because it's much less variance than trying to attack Ukraine on R1. So he did lose 2 infantry on his attack there. I thought, I could have gone back and read all that. I'm sure that I know there's a bunch of threads in Discord about Roland's unique play, and I think he does I know he does the Persian factory variant. Given certain circumstances, I did not go back and read what those circumstances are or try to gameplay against it. I just looked at it as it is with the Russian fighter in Egypt. And I automatically, I gotta think that stacking Ukraine is the best starting position. Caucasus was empty, so it was an easy free take, so the battleship and transport can be safe for a turn, which is nice if it turns into a KJF, because I know a lot of times when I think West Rush Jam, I think, this will be a great KJF opener. So that's a nice take of it. I did the 7 infantry, 2 artillery bomber build. I just kind of felt like I like having 2 bombers, and it's just an opportunity to have 2 bombers. Normally, you know what? I guess as I think about it, that game, the KJF game against, I can't remember his name now. But anyways, I had a bomber live, and I accidentally bought a bomber without even thinking about it. But then I kind of liked having the 2 bombers. And I've kind of liked having a little bit more German air, since we're going to have an extra fighter anyway. So we got 6 fighters, 2 bombers. That's going to we should be able to make shipping a bit of a headache up here. But my play, I want to get, since we're stacking Ukraine, I immediately want to get as much pressure on West Russia and Caucasus as possible. So definitely tanks had to go to Poland. Tanks up here would not do any good for putting pressure here. So putting them up here, or putting them down here, going through the stacked Ukraine should make it pretty a good stance there. And then I wanted to move as much as I can here, because he's going to have 9 infantry, potentially 11 infantry, although he's going to want to take Karelia with something there, right? So I don't think he'll have all 11 infantry joining in to West Russia, obviously. But he's going to have a pretty good, potentially 21 infantry, 3 artillery, 4 tanks, a couple fighters, and you could build a couple tanks, putting pressure on here. So I went ahead and moved all my ground towards Ukraine so that we can maintain it, because there's things you can do with UK to make it so that Japan can't land so many fighters on the mainland to support that stack on J2. So I want to go ahead and do what I can to make this effective. I think the best out of it is if we can trade Caucasus a number of times. That's extra income, as long as we're still getting to trade Karelia, and that's where I was a little hesitant moving all 3 infantry to Poland. I felt like I should be moving some to Baltic, but I do have the 3 there, plus the 8 planes, and here we're putting threat on both of these 2, so it's going to be hard for him to take Karelia. So that's why I went ahead and threw the AA. After the turn, I'd already just taken the infantry. I'd used the Finland infantry to take it, so I decided to just go ahead and use the transport to move the AA, and then infantry, I think I took them from Norway, into there, just to make it awkward. Anytime there's an AA and Russia likes their planes, they're not going to want to risk it. And if he's going to pull some artillery out of West Russia, that helps me put a little bit more pressure down into this part of the board. Similarly, I took this for free. But I was planning on leaving one fighter here anyway, since I have my normal 5 fighter and a bomber, plus another bomber for dead zoning Atlantic Fleet already. So I figured might as well leave the extra fighter in Ukraine to help defend it. And when I did my calculations, I felt comfortable putting 2 in here. I kind of like the 2 just because with 1, UK can do their infantry. Let's see, this fighter probably, that fighter can hit, and I believe the bomber, right? 1, 2, 3. Where are we going? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe this way. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I was gonna say I thought the bomber could hit the bomber, so they could have a infantry fighter bomber. Against 2 infantry, that's a little more questionable. Make R trade it versus UK trade it if we can. The bigger concern here is I did have to leave this destroyer live. I almost risk taking my bomber 1v1 against the destroyer. If you know me, when I see that destroyer live, that's a potential green light for C-Zone 37 and then dropping a fleet in 35. And like I just said, this is I think of the West Russia jam as a KJF build. So I don't know. Maybe he'll do that. Maybe he'll be risky enough to go for that. I would certainly think about it. I'd normally hesitate when the battleship's alive, though. I normally do that when the battleship comes out here, and I'm going to kill the battleship for, with either the UK or US Atlantic Fleet. So I don't know with tucking the battleship in here. Maybe that's not so much something on the agenda there, if you will. So yeah, I think we did have a pretty good result in C-Zone 7. We did send 6, so it's always nice to see 2 subs survive. I did, because I'm wanting to put pressure on Caucasus and West Russia, I did the split instead of putting all my fighters on Northwest Europe like a lot of times I do. I did move a couple up to Finland because they can help put some pressure, a little extra pressure onto Caucasus here. Put my infantry artillery in Italy. Technically I could have left them down here, but I wanted to make sure that the transport, in case he did a wipe of, was this Libya, is that right? Yeah, if he did a wipe of Libya, that I'd still have somebody the transport could move forward. So we're trying to put max pressure on this, was my main goal here. We'll see what UK does and go from there. And we did a little mini stack here on Northwest Europe. I chose to keep 3 fighters and 1 bomber, well, 2 bombers. I can hit 13 because I'll have 3 boats that could go there and potentially 3 transports. So we did want to keep some pressure there, plus the bombers and the tank and the infantry can help pressure to back kick if we decide to just let Egypt go and keep this, hopefully with the 8 German planes, we're going to be putting some pretty good pressure on the Atlantic side of things, so maybe we can kick, maybe it's better to kick back to Morocco. I don't know. We'll see where that goes. And then, of course, Japan will depend what UK does on what we do. I'm kind of leaning towards, since I got 8 German planes, going a little bit heavier on the Japan planes too, and getting them over into the this area as well. I've kind of become a big fan of having 2 larger air forces with access towards the center of the board that can pressure fleets as well as help trade in the middle. So we'll see. We'll see if it develops into that. But anyways, I thought this might be an interesting game to record, so here we go. So here I started getting going and completely forgot to start the recording. So going back to UK's turn. So UK, he bought 2 tanks, an artillery, and a factory. So he did put the Persia factory down. I know he has a big old write-up on it. And again, I probably should have went back and read the whole write-up. But, whatever. We'll see if we can figure out. It'll be interesting. A factory on a 1 IPC, I don't know. But it obviously is in a strategic location directly between Caucasus and India. So it can support both as well as get back to Moscow. So I don't know. We'll see what happens here. I really don't know what to expect. Let's see. So the combats, C-Zone 5, 7, 61. So 61. He did fighter cruiser, saved his carrier down here, which this worries me a little bit with my plan that I've got set. But I feel okay. I think we'll be okay.
Let's see, 5 and 7. Oh yeah, that guy and those guys. So, let's see. Oh, he did. Yeah, that's right. He did lose his bomber in C-Zone 7. So that's big because that UK bomber is not alive. So I don't have that threat over here on the UK bomber. However, based on the setup, and he kept his Australia fleet down here, which to me is just easier pickings possibly than the Pearl Harbor, because I can pick these guys and Dead Zone 45 maybe with these guys over here. So maybe even pulling these guys over depending on what we decide to do. So in any case, point being, I think I'm going to just wipe this fleet down here and be happy to get a wipe down there and not let these guys build up, while still putting pressure on C-Zone 35, because he does have carrier destroyer, he does have 3 fighters in range, and he does have 31 IPC. So a carrier, fighter, sub could go right into here. Plus he has that destroyer living, so I do need to be mindful of that possibility. But I do think we'll have C-Zone 35 dead zoned, which is important to me. The good news is he is giving these free, so I don't have to use fighters on them. So we're going to go from there. I did build 3 transport, tank, and infantry. I sat there and debated about doing 2 infantry so that maybe I could do 3 bombers the next turn and really put pressure on India, since he's pushing up into Persia to, keep Germany from getting to Caucasus. So I want to put heavy pressure on Persia here. I even looked at, well, what if could I stack, he moved a lot back. Could I stack Burma here? But that would be infantry, artillery, 2, 3 tanks. So 5 units plus the fighter is 6 units. The most I could get there is 3 and 2 from the transport. And I'm thinking I probably don't want that. That's not a trait I want to give off, especially if it's switched into a KJF all of a sudden somehow, since I'm letting Pearl live. So I don't think that's the route. So I'm not 100% sure yet still what we're going to do, actually. But anyways, so combat, I am thinking about this guy going 1, 2, 3 and be able to land here. If he dies, and I don't. If he does, then I bring these guys and I come in 38. I'm still one way from 36, which a lot of KGFs. I'm in 36 on J2 anyways. So I kind of like that. Plus, they're still threatening 35. If the fighter dies, I might bring him back into 37 or bring him over to 46 or 47. One of these here where I'm still threatening 35. 47 or 37 actually would probably be better, because then I could get back to 61 if I chose to on J2. Especially if he comes charging at me with his fleet, which is fine. I'm okay if he does. I'll consolidate in 36 on J2 and just defend Tokyo from a drop, basically, and stretch from there. So yeah, we're going to do that. I don't like letting a transport live free. Now this fighter is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 and land over here. Oh, that's the thing with 37. If I can come back, if I do end up landing in 38, 1, 2, 3, 4, the fighters can't reach Caucasus. But if I come back to 37, if I lose the 1 fighter, then I'd have the 2 fighters in Caucasus that could reach there, plus my other fighters that I'm going to have sitting around. Which, how many other fighters do I have, by the way? 1, 2, 3. So we'd have 3, we'd have 4. So yeah, something like that. So we'll go here, 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 here. Do you want to leave that carrier out? I think I like leaving the carrier flexible. That guy there. I'm going to bring the tank so that we can land it here and blitz. And hopefully I'm going to be landing 3 fighters here and a bomber. So, right? So here's 1 fighter and a bomber. Here's 2 fighters and a bomber. And here's 3 fighters. So those 3 fighters hopefully are landing there. And then the carrier is just tucking in for safety. And the bomber and the cruiser, battleship carrier. So I think we'll see how this all goes. I'm not 100% sure. This is a little bit different coming down here for me, obviously. But I like having the sub to absorb the hit too. Let's see, maybe I'll get 1 fighter back. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can get 2 fighters back to 60 if I need to protect. Let's see. Let's think there's just a little bit more. Yeah, I was looking at maybe having this battleship go here to save this battleship to possibly defend up here. But my one concern with this is if he submerges his sub, I kill the cruiser, then the fighters live, and that fighter that went 3 has to be caught here, and then he'd have a sub going into my carrier. I really need that battleship, because this cruiser can't get down there to help him. So I really need this battleship there. I mean, we could pull the battleship all the way over here, and then we've got all this mess attacking there, and that starts to get a little ugly, I think, and pulls me a little far out than I want to be. So I think we got to use the battleship up here. So that means we've got 1, 2, 3, 1 fighter, 2 fighters that we got to protect against up here. I don't think destroyer cruiser makes me happy enough. We could move him here. 3 infantry, 4 versus 3. Fighter can't reach. 4 infantry versus 3 infantry. What are those odds? So what I'm looking at is if this zone would be safe. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So U.S. can't hit it, but the U.K. could potentially hit it with this fighter, right? The fighter went 1, 2, 3, and landed 4 here. For that to happen, Russia goes before UK. The 4 infantry would have to take this spot. He doesn't have a fighter that can reach there, so it'd be 4 infantry. If I push all these guys up, it'd be 4 versus 3 infantry. And that is a 41% chance he wins that. I put just the destroyer here. It's fighter versus destroyer. It's 50-50 that he wins that, and the fighter lives to kill the transports. So 40% chance, 50% chance, 2/5, 2/4 is 4/20 is 1/5 is a 20, basically a 20% chance that he wipes my transports at the cost of 4 infantry, 12 22, but the transports are more valuable. 3 transports is more valuable than that, and we'd be losing 3 and such. So it'd definitely be a win for him, but it's a higher risk ask. So, all right, well, here we go. Let's just do this. Did I hit everything? We did that. We did that. There. This is a good setup. I mean, I like this UK setup because, like my setup, it makes Japan stretch itself out. You want to hit too many things, and it's too easy to stretch yourself out into too many different places. Okay. There we go, got our 2 hits. Nothing we can do about what he gets on hitbacks, but it's always good if we can kill him in 1 round so he doesn't get extra shots. Alright, what's he got that sub doing? That's the good question here. Both subs hit on the surprise strike. Interesting. And his cruiser missed. So we do got to catch that fighter. Which is, I mean, I'd rather catch the fighter than, you know, have the fighter die, right? So it's not a bad thing. But now I think we can do it with just the cruiser if we need to take the battleship somewhere else. All right, got the 2 hits. Again, nothing we can do about when he gets a hit back. That's just the way of life. We don't want to land him over there. Do we want to land him up here on 46? Oh no, that's the second one. The one that can go 2. This one can only go into these 3. We don't want to go there. We want him to go there. Okay. So I thought we had to come here. But 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. I don't necessarily have to bring my battleship down there. We could bring him back. But I want him, if I bring him back, then he's not really able to 1, 2, 3. Oh wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, he could still reach Caucasus, can't he? I like that better. Although that takes the battleship off of having pressure on 45. Is there what can hit here? So he's got the 1 fighter that could hit there. This guy, 1, 2, 3, he can't do anything. Those guys can't do anything. 1, 2, 3, that fighter can't. So he's got 1 fighter, basically, that could hit there. This gives me battleship, carrier, 2 fighters that could hit here. That fighter could hit there. Let's pull the cruiser back. These fighters could go 1, 2, 3, 4. The carrier could go catch them. All he's got is those guys. So that should shut him off from being able to get all 3 fighters down here to India. Which actually, I mean, I would carrier, destroyer, sub. We would have carrier, 2, 4 fighters, and a bomber. Yeah, I think I like having the battleship down there. That leaves a battleship here, which He only has the one fighter and then another one fighter. The rest can't hit there. We just got the destroyer covering there. There we go. I think we've moved everybody we want to move. I kind of wanted to play this differently. I probably messed myself up. I'm probably not seeing something here. I've been having bad... Well, y'all saw my last game with Johnny where I just fell apart, having trouble focusing. I'm sure I missed something, but hey, it looks fun. What the heck? Okay, so we're coming into Germany 2 turn here. Again, we had the West Russia Jam with the Persia factory build here. So my overlying strategy is put as much pressure here in the center of the board as we can. So Egypt's looking tempting since we took care of that transport. He's only got the one tank, so we should be safe. So we can work our way this direction. Hopefully we're going to be putting pressure India here, pressuring Caucasus here, and see where we can get to. Ukraine should have a safe stack even without the fighter, with stuff coming in, and even without me bringing a transport to Ukraine this turn. Reason being is he did send his U.S. fleet this direction in the Pacific, which means he's only got what he built in the Atlantic here. And again, we dead zoned his UK drop, and we're going to dead zone the UK drop again, in essence. But if we can have 6, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay. 6. We can bring that bomber back. So what I'm thinking is we are hoping 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll have a bomber here, 4 fighters and a bomber here. So that's 6 that can hit C zone 13. He can put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's it. But if we bring the battleship up, that puts a little bit more pressure on him. That they probably don't want to risk. But he could move this destroyer in here to block the battleship from doing anything. And then we'd be 6 on 5. Which I'm not sure I really want to take that either, because I'm going to have 2 fighters up here. I'll explain that in just a minute. But if I go ahead and take that bomber strike on the destroyer, then he's talking about having to use a cruiser for a block, and he would only have 4 in the background with my 6 planes I could hit. 5 if the destroyer gets a hit back, though. I think I'm going to take that risk of hitting this destroyer with the bomber just to take that blocker out and make him have to use a cruiser for a blocker if he wants to block my battleship. Up here, the interesting thing is he can send enough infantry in here kind of to hit Karelia a little harder. He tried to hit Karelia, by the way. He sent 2 infantry and artillery. I got 2 hit backs. He got no hits, so yay for us. But in any case, so he can hit this pretty hard next turn. I want to make him have to hit it hard so that he has less pressure down here, and maybe I can maneuver in and maybe move Japan fighters in or something like that. So I want to make him hit hard, but because I'm focusing everything here, if he hits hard here, then he just walks through the rest of that. So I'm thinking about 4 infantry, 2 fighters here, because this transport can come with bomber, fighter hitting there. So either I move these guys in and they get crushed and then they just got free walking there, or we do a little mini stack on Finland where we could hit Norway if he drops them there. We can use them to hit Karelia, and we're going to add in just, maybe an infantry artillery here, because we're going to build a couple tanks, 11 infantry, 2 tanks, so that these tanks could blitz into Ukraine to help support Ukraine with the other infantries going that direction. So yeah. Let's see what comes of this. Perhaps I should have done a few more calculations, but I didn't, so we're moving on. But yeah, so we're going to buy 11 infantry, 2 tanks. We're going to have 45, assuming we get Caucasus. Assuming we get Egypt, that's another 6 points. If we get this one, that's even greater. So we're going to have 47 or 48 points for next turn, which is really quite nice. A nice income for Germany. So the downside of trying to dead zone C-Zone 13 is I don't get to pull the battleship, I don't get to transport 2 units directly up to here. I could be using these guys to hit there, but I'm not going to be able to. Interesting that we could hit that guy. Could hit the cruiser as well. But I think we're going to take the less risky shot there. I think that's what we're going to do. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to go with. I didn't look at 3, 12, 13, 23, 31 units we could hit here. 21, 23, 4, 5, 30. Don't think that would be worth it. Yeah, that'd be a pretty good gamble. I don't think we want to go there. Not yet. I think we're going to go this route. See if we can make him really sweat C-Zone 13. There we go. That's perfect. He's got so much UK here, it didn't really matter. I just wanted to take it for the 4 points, obviously. Ooh, that one hurts. That hurts my counts a little bit, but oh well. No whammies, big bucks, big bucks, big bucks. No whammies, no whammies, big bucks. Yay! That was a pretty big battle there. That was pretty important there, because that's going to give him some pretty big headaches now on the Morocco Sea Zone. Thank you, Mr. Tank, for somebody hitting. So, gives us a little bit more strength in Africa coming towards Persia or going this way. Make him have to think more about what he's going to be doing with these UK troops. We're putting some pretty heavy pressure on Sea Zone 13, so he may have to just take everything down to 23 and then save to build 8 and 23 combination. I don't know. We're going to make him have to sweat this out a little bit on what he wants to do here in these sea zones. Yeah, we don't want to go all the way to 14 because he could hit cruiser, 2 fighters. I'm sure that bomber could probably hit 2. I do need to double check, so I make sure that I get this stacked all together. And we do want to move all of these guys in, of course. I believe if my calculations worked well, those 5 plus this battleship transport, he can't hit them here, so they'll be able to bring the transport, be able to bring 2 more into Ukraine, plus the tanks we built here. Should be able to keep Ukraine stacked versus these guys coming in, all these guys coming in. So that we can continue to keep this forward stack and keep trading off Caucasus here, because that's good for us. So I think this is what we're going to do. I'm not going to make y'all sit here and wait while I do another calculator. I just want to double check that France is okay from, I mean, it should be fine, right? Bomber 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the bomber can hit. They can't hit. Bomber, cruiser, and 2 infantry. I mean, that's essentially what we're looking at. So we should be good there. But I'm just going to double check that. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to put my 2 infantry. Going to build 2 infantry here. My 2 tanks, 8 infantry here, and then that leaves 1 infantry down here with my bomber. He should be safe. There's no bombers or fighters that can reach Italy this turn, so he'll be safe there, so that bomber can continue to put pressure down here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so that bomber can continue to put pressure down onto TJ as well. Oh, hey, transport didn't drop his guys. Woo, glad I double-checked that. Don't want a transport just sitting there with guys doing nothing. That'd be a waste. So, all right. So that's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to double check that. And this will be our board. All right. So moving on into Japan 2 turn here. Interesting game. We got to deal, worry, whatever with the U.S. fleet up here. Decide how we want to manage or not manage that. As well as continue to move. We are going to have a little bit of opening here. We're trying to dead zone 13, so he's probably going to assume come down here to help protect this, and he's bringing his UK guys around to eventually get that Atlantic fleet up, but it's going to be very slow. Hopefully Germany will have built up strong, getting lots of money, and hopefully Germany will reach that point of not being able to be pushed over. I like the idea here of stacking Burma too. So he's got 2 infantry, 6 tanks, and 3 fighters. We've got 6 units here and 4 transports. With, what's that, 11 attacking units, I'm okay with 10. So if we can hit this without a loss, we can do it with 3 transports. Maybe we'll have to pull out the calculator just to squeeze it out. But if we put if we can stack here and put heavy pressure on India, hopefully that makes them do one thing or another with Persia. And maybe we just blitz there, move these guys, or, start to put pressure into TJ and start to really, we're still trading here. UK maybe has to back out of here. And I don't know. We'll see where that goes. If I do that, he may just let India go and crash hit them and then bounce here and be ready to come back for India. I don't know. We'll worry about that more on German's turn, whether we just hang out and we just let South Africa go. If U.S. comes down here, they're not really going to get a whole lot of points out of there. Do we stack here and then work here, or stack in here and make him into the dead zone and let him hit me? I don't know. We'll figure that out. I mean, it's an interesting thing, but we want to put as much pressure, really we're trying to put as much pressure through these 4 territories from West Russia down to India as we can. So that's the goal. So for this time, we're going to go 5 infantry artillery. We're going to build an industry. We are not going to put the industry here because this is going to be under threat for U.S. just to take it. No reason building an industry for U.S. to take. We're going to go ahead and build the Kwang Tung one first, which is abnormal for me, but it'll let me sit in 61, and we're not going to really be able to dead zone these guys super well, so this fleet may just hang around a little bit, in which case I'll need to be able to build more from here and possibly a destroyer, because I'm going to have to sack this destroyer as a blocker in 60 from hitting what I put in 61 on all likelihood. So we've got 4 transports, so that building 6 gives me 3 next turn to be able to pick up from here. We're taking these this turn. We're coming into 36. One of our transports is either going to go that way or more likely pick up these guys and go this way. So I haven't completely figured out my non-combat move yet. Combat's going to be fairly straightforward, though. So here we go. Four. Let's see. Let's hit that, see what the hitbacks look like, and then we'll figure out if we go ahead and try and stack there or not based on the results of the play. Seems that we got 1, 2, 3, come back to 4. They could get them, so only 2 of them. I guess if we tried to build a carrier, we could have hit 4 there, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So maybe I could have built a carrier. Seems like kind of a waste of money though, and primarily KGF. I could have built a carrier and maybe done battleship destroyer hitting here plus 2 fighters that this carrier could pick up and 2 fighters that would land, so that'd be 4, and then a bomber. So we would have had 7 attacking with the battleship, and they would have had 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 defending with the battleship. So it would have been a toss-up. But I also don't want to waste money on a carrier right now. I want to focus expansion into the mainland. Just to make sure. That'll give us at least 2 fighters landing there. Oh, that's right. We were thinking about the tank blitz. 4. That'd just be 4 hitting there. Yeah, I don't think it's worth it. We would have had, 4, 5 units hitting his 4. Bigger hitters, but I would rather have more in there.
Bring them their check. I feel like bring them their check
There we go. Just wanted to make sure I got it. Okay. So that's good. With 2 living, I think we can... So if we do... So that's 6 units. We're trying to get against 11... 5, 10, 11... 7, 8... 9, 10. Maybe we check to see what that looks like. Probably bring one more transport into there. But I don't think we'll need to bring both, so... He's just sitting here to get attacked. I think we move him forward. I mean, he can do 4 and land his fighters, but then they can't get back all the way over there. So I think he hangs out. I think this guy hangs out to be able to trade any of these guys. Move carrier in here. Gonna want to move the destroyer to block him attacking 61. Carrier, battleship. Do we have 2 fighters landing? Oh. You know what we want? I actually want 2 fighters on the boat so they can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the carrier can still catch 2 from here. There should be 2 fighters in there, right? 2 fighters in there. So these 2 fighters go 1, 2, 3, land on the carrier. The 2 fighters on the carrier go 1, 2, 3, 4, and this carrier has its 2 fighters it can catch. All right, yeah, I think I need one more load of guys coming down here. It almost makes me want to take that destroyer, cruiser, make sure a battleship carrier, loaded carrier. Why is there only 1 fighter? There should be 2 fighters here, right? But if we brought the destroyer down and the 2 fighters... Oh, there you are. And we brought the 2 fighters, it would be a 50-50, 51% shot that the U.S. could wipe them out. But I only got 1 transport there. Is that big a deal? No, unless he goes and builds a fleet here and some of this lives. And, you know, if he does attack and it does live and then he builds a fleet here, then I'm kind of in a little bit of trouble. So I'd rather not. So now we've got 2 fighters, 3, 4, 6 fighters and a bomber, 7 airborne units that can hit here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's going to want to put a destroyer back in to block me, so he'd be down to 5 airborne blockers. So we should have these guys dead zone that they need to move along somewhere. So we're going to sacrifice a destroyer. We're going to have to deal with the sub, so we may end up having to build another destroyer at some point, or just deal with the annoyance of a sub floating around here. Let's double check Tokyo real quick here. So he'll have 2 infantry, 2 fighters, and a battleship. Taking on AA, 5 infantry, and an artillery. It gives him a 4% chance. I'm going to let him have a 4% chance.
Tattoo.
There we go. So that's what we're giving him. This allows us the ability to come take Australia with these guys, 2 fighters, a battleship. I actually probably should have left the cruiser in here now that I think about it to help with that double bombardment, but oh well. I was thinking about needing for protection, but we got the 2 fighters there. So I should have left the cruiser in 36 as well. Slight mistake by me, but we'll live with it. There we go. I started taking my turn, and I forgot I'm supposed to be recording this interesting game. So you can kind of see what I'm already doing here, but UK backed out of Persia and stacked India. And I could go into a stack battle, but I really, and probably win, I don't know, regardless. It does mean Germany will get to trade Persia for a turn and stop his production there for a turn. But I don't think it's going to be that big a deal. I'm going to see if I can keep trading with Germany for a little bit, but I'm going to have to back out of Burma with my plan, so he'll just back into Persia. So, kind of a tit for tat, take out production for 2 turns, or a turn from, maybe 2 turns. Next turn, he gains it, and then he'll be able to produce again. So 1 turn, not a big deal. Anyways, make him think at least. His carrier destroyer came up from Africa up to here, obviously. We'll have to see if he decides to go ahead and stack C-Zone 13. I feel like he must be, since he's putting his fighter kind of out here where I could hit it with all my bombers. So I got a feeling he's going to drop some infantry on top of that and take this with one of the transports, or 2 of the transports. One of the transports, drop some people there, throw a destroyer in here, and then challenge me with the 2 carriers, cruiser, destroyer. So that will be 8, 4 boats, 4 planes, and 13 versus my 9, 6 fighters, 3 bombers. With everything that's been going on, I think I'll probably take that shot, at least a 1-round shot at it, and see what happens. So yeah, and I'll take the battleship into, if he puts a blocker in there. Of course, that would give him carrier destroyer fighter that can then take out the battleship, but again, we'll be just really limiting his production here. So this is going to get interesting. I think this is a push in, see if I'll call or not. Meanwhile, I decided I'm going to go ahead and just take this fleet out. I got to be careful that I have enough to dead zone C-Zone 35. He's only got 27 IPC, so he could build a carrier and a destroyer and a sub down here. I'm going to keep a battleship carrier in range. I assume he'll move the destroyer block for that, so it'll be basically a destroyer loaded carrier, so 4. So I want to make sure I keep at least 5 planes in range. So that's why these 2 are not going to attack, because if I went 1, 2, 3, they'd have to land here. I've already got 2 fighters from here going 3, so 2 of them are going to land here. I'm going to have 1 carrier here, so the ones that land here can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and the ones that land on my carrier can go 1, 2, wherever. Because there's 2 fighters in here going 1, 2, 3, 4. They land back on 61. So I'll have 2 fighters here. 2 fighters that can go 3, so those 4 fighters can hit the zone. If they live up here, though, is part of the iffy. If I take these fighters out, then they're definitely not going to be able to hit it. Whereas here, I can still position them where we can still have a threat on there. Haven't decided exactly how I'm going to do that yet, but anyways. I did buy a bomber. So a bomber here can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the bomber will be able to hit. I will have my other bomber hopefully still alive. So I have 2 bombers. And then ideally 4 fighters that can threaten the C-Zone so he doesn't go building there. Actually, as I think about, I hate not having these guys do anything. I think we can add them to the battle. Because I need at least three fighters to come back. But two of my fighters are going to live too and come back here. So they'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. So then I just need at least one of the other 4 fighters, which could land anywhere. And they can do 1, 2, 3, 4 and land on the carrier moving there. So I think we'll go that route just to kill that more cleanly. I'd feel more comfortable with that. Oh, shoot. And I just realized that bomber can hit here, where I was planning on moving 2 of my transports. Even if we do win that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think I'll leave this carrier out of the battle, since he's not really going to be adding much. Oh man, I got to think that through. Yeah, no, I think I need that extra hit just in case things go poorly. And I can always move my battleship to there, my carrier to here, and if I land 2 fighters, only the destroyer can hit. So hopefully we'll still be in good shape. So that might be a mistake, I don't know. I've thought too much on this turn, I'm just going to go. Four hitbacks, yikes. Oh, those are the easy ones. I mean, he'll have to build to do the KG, to switch to a KJF, so I'm going to do that. That went well. That went well. That went extra well. Alright, now we got to figure out this non-combat turn, exactly how we want to do this. One of those guys stay back. And I think we'll put the battleship there. One guy is going to start picking guys up. This guy is going to come back. I think we'll go that route since we got those guys going north. So that should give me 4 fighters, 2 bombers. I can reach that zone. I think we will do a fighter before carrier just in case he takes a shot at 61 with a destroyer. Oops. Battleship for bomber, battleship for bomber. Bomber 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're good there. Destroyer can't reach 1, 2, 3, 4. He can then take his 2 guys back to 61. All right. So there we go. We're pretty thin here, but he's only got a destroyer. And you'd have to build fresh here and build fresh here. We still got 2 battleships and a carrier on the board. I'm a little nervous with this carrier by himself, but there's not a whole lot of advantage to him attacking it. But it gives me the 2. The reason I needed him here was so the 2 fighters could hit. 2 fighters could come and catch. If he blocked, I could attack 36 and leave the carrier out so he could catch it. We could have 4 fighters. Bomber can hit, bomber hit, so we got 6 air facing there. So now we're going to shift and we're just going to run as fast as we can with Japan to Russia and hopefully get these West Russians dislodged. Okay, entering into G4, so U.S. Russia's turn. Russia, as you can see, they moved down to Caucasus here. U.S. went ahead in C-Zone 13, did use the destroyer block. Kind of what I expected. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that's a little bit of a bummer. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I just noticed the 2 bomber sub and transport over here. I didn't notice that earlier. So let's see. Let's get back here. So sub transport bomber. Put his other bomber over there. So he's looking to be a little bit more annoying there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can't go there without an escort. So we're going to be just taking those guys straight on back. We're going to be not getting to those guys yet. And we're probably going to have to build a destroyer at some point because of that sub. We'll figure out that turn when we get to it, though. The interesting part is that I was planning on hitting the destroyer with my battleship, trying to take out the fighter, and then you have to do 1, 2, 3, 4. You'd have 2 bombers and a fighter there that could then hit them. So I may have to change my mind slightly here. We obviously can't hit that. We can move people on up into TJ a little bit quicker. But I don't know that we're going to make a lot of progress that way. I kind of like the idea of wiping him. Other options, just keep feeding this chain, kind of going this direction. Well, anyways, I bought 10 infantry 2 fighters because I do plan on going ahead and taking a shot at this fleet. I want to see if we can just keep them from not having a fleet for quite some time. We are going to go ahead and take Persia, try to take its... trade Persia, not take it, not stack it, but trade it to try to diminish the value of the factory there. The good news of him coming down here, we can take this guy, and he's not going to have a counter. Especially if we can wipe this, it's going to be a while until you can get back up there. We'll have 12, 32, 25, 29, 31, so we should be good there. The only thing we're going to worry about, I mean, we could try and drop down that way, but I think we're going to keep pumping this way. If Russia has to trade with us, even greater still. Just haven't decided what I wanted to do with these guys. So my initial intention was take the battleship and take the 50-50 shot on the fighter. Now I'm questioning myself. Yeah, knowing that he'd have 2 bombers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, even if we took that, he could still land in Morocco, and the fighter 1, 2, 3, 4 can land in Morocco. He's got a pretty easy kill. If I stay here, all he's got is destroyer, fighter, assuming we kill these guys. Now, if we don't kill all 4 of these guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, then he's got a shot at the battleship. In which case we may think about something else, like coming down to 17. Because I don't think he has anything that could hit 17 yet. 1, 2, 3, yeah. 17 would still be safe. So, I think we're going to leave the destroyer fighter be. And I think that's all of our attacks. Everything is favorable. Come on. Ah, that's bad news. Because now he's got tanks that can blitz, and I needed to take that so those 6 tanks couldn't blitz right in through here and smash me next turn. And he couldn't use it. Now, darn it. Oh, well. We're going to bring Japan back down to... Because the other issue with that is I had to pull Japan's transports all up this way and all out that way. So now we got no India pressure. We're going to come back down and put India pressure on to prevent him from just crushing me this way. So I'm going to back out for a turn. Reconsolidate in Egypt. Alright. Average would be 5 hits to 4 hits on the first round here of battle. Ooh. Oh, brutal for him. I'm actually going to go ahead and finish it. I want one bomber over here to prevent him from just going to C zone 10, or 2, make him tuck into 1. He's got no transports. He's only got the 1 fighter, so we actually don't even have to land them in. We can come back to France. We can go ahead and pull some guys out of there. Oh, wait. You guys we might be taking. After you've cased turn, you could take that and then wipe it. At least this way he has to send a tank to hit me at the very least. This gives me, with my 2 fighter build, that gives me 5 units. These guys can't make it to 7. They could come in here, but then my 2 fighter build will be able to hit as well, so that'll give me 7 to hit his 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you have to build another boat or something in there. So we're keeping the Atlantic fairly dead zone there. It's debating whether I want to be in 15 or 17, but I like being in 15 because I don't think he attacks, and we can come bring that battleship back out and create threats again, hopefully. Especially if we can prevent him from building the fleet. If we can wipe that fleet again, then we can pull the battleship on out. Oh, yeah, we got these guys. Might as well pump them this direction because we don't really need to go north because he's got nothing that can hit me up there. So if only Persia had gone well, then we could have been putting more people in Transjordan and continue to put more heavier pressure there, but instead we got to back off a little bit. That was the only downfall. Making sure no one can get any cheap shots on me there. Keep the infantry pumping. So that gives us 4 fighters, 3 bombers, so we are still strong on the Air Force. And we're still keeping a little chain going through North Africa, as well as pumping into here, although we're not getting the 4-pointer here anymore. Hopefully we're going to get our Japan Air in line so that maybe we can make a move for West Russia stack next turn. There we go. Yeah. The fighters down here is because they can come and support, 1, 2, 3, 4. They can hit these guys. They can hit over here, 1, 2, 3, 4. If a bunch of tank splits through, Bombers can swing around a lot easier. These guys can hit down here as well as these two fighters can still hit C-Zone 8 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. He can't do any transports. So we still got our 4 fighters, 3 bombers hitting these. And we've got 3 bombers, 2 fighters that could hit here and here. So yeah, we still got a lot of pressure on these guys. How much does he have to build with? UK's got 27. So here we go. This is after Germany's turn, so it's not really a fair representation, but he's got, what, 24 more IPC to spend than me? 23. So he's going to get about 8 more builds. So we got about a 30 attack power difference. We're pulling in 88s, high 80s still, so feeling pretty strong right now. All right, continuing on to Japan 4 here. He bought 3 infantry, artillery, and a fighter. I was surprised he kept the carrier destroyer down here in 23. I think he may be considering coming backwards and turning this into a KJF. He did build a sub and transport last turn with the United States, but I don't think he thought I would hit that fleet. So we could look at a turnaround KJF here, so we got to prepare for that, because all I have is 2 battleships and 1 carrier as far as boats go, since we wiped that fleet up here. So since he built the sub, I am going to build a destroyer. I may be committing a little bit early, but I think I'd rather be a little bit early on it and go ahead and go that route with getting it down in the water. Otherwise, he hit West Russia, 1 there. He hit Burma, 1 there. He stacked Kaza, restacked Persia, as well as Dead Zone TJ, because he's got these 6 and 6 fighters. So he's got 18 units that could hit Persia right now. So with being in Caucasus and Kaza and all these tanks and these fighters, he can sit here and kind of rotate between these 3 guys fairly easily. And unfortunately, I can't really shift too much yet. I'm hoping G5 will be able to roll into West Russia, though, to pull him out of Caucasus and make him come back into Moscow. And then it becomes harder for UK to hold all 3 of these. Germany's probably just going to kill some time in here messing around. And we'll see. Because I'm going to go ahead and bring some Japan air over here, too, as well, to help dead zone things, plus also to stack this, because by hitting West Russia, he's got 4 tanks, 2 fighters that could come up here, and I have no counter, especially if he had one of those tanks turn into Belo and then did the 3-2 strike and took it. There's no counter for me, and he'd be able to hold, and then he'd go into Finland, Norway, and that would become fairly costly. So we're going to send some Japan air over here to help reinforce this, since I'm not worried about UK has no ground that can hit there. They only have air, so that Japan should be able to pull back out of there next turn without too much concern. We also got to worry about the fact that he's got 1 infantry, 6 tanks, and 6 fighters that can hit Sichuan here. So we need to stack Sichuan as it is. So interesting dynamics here. He does have me at a little bit of a pinch here, where because I don't have a transport here. We don't have a backup behind these guys, so we're taking territories, but we don't really have a whole lot of follow-up behind them. We really don't got a shot at taking Alaska, so we're just going to pull back in. But we will have those 2 guys marching back. So I really do want to get another industry, so it's going to... I'm buying a destroyer and an industry, which means I'm only getting 6 ground this turn, which is not really ideal when Japan's kind of slow already and Russia's already pretty big, but Germany's big too, and there's no pressure here. So even though we're a bit slow and we're not going to be able to grab these guys, right? This destroyer is protecting this side. I could potentially loop him around, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I could loop him around here, but then this transport's dead, right? Between this destroyer, this sub, these bombers, transport's dead. So we're just going to take the guys back and actually take them back to here and get ready to grab these guys next turn. Even if we're not grabbing these guys, at least we're getting guys off the islands. I actually could go, as I think about this, if I'm bringing a battleship and carrier down here, I think I'm going to wait. I could buy a 5th transport and units for it instead, and that gives me this guy that can then grab these guys. Moving around. I don't know. Maybe I should go with a 5th transport rather than another factory. If we had a transport, I need 7 builds, so that would just be right? So, the transport and destroyer. 6 ground going into the 1 bonus. That'll give me 7 units to pick up.
I'm gonna go with J.K. Simmons Insurance Company. I work in insurance, so I hope I get this one correct. Incorrect. Sorry, no. Shaquille O'Neal's insurance company's the general.
So yeah.
Is the spokesperson for Farmers Insurance. Go ahead and take a step back on that green circle for me. That's your first miss. 2 more.
We'll figure this out. I think I'm going to go with another transport instead, though. And we got some extra units. We've got 4 artillery going. So let's grab a tank and an artillery, I think.
Comedian Jeff Ross's nickname. I'm gonna go with Don Rickles. He's probably called the General in the evenings. I'm not sure. Incorrect. Oh, I'm sorry. No, Jeff Ross is the Roast Master General. That's your second miss. 1 more on the seat turns over. You just gotta get these 4 right in a row. No misses. You got it. No pressure. Come on, Caitlin. ABC soap opera.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can still get over there. Get another bomber to hit there.
Definitely know this one. It's ABC soap opera General Hospital.
1, 2, 3, 4. No dice. Let's not give dice gods a chance here.
I'm on it now for 2.5 years. You're doing great. You're still alive. You gotta get 3 in a row. Here we go. There's 2 options.
They've got 2.
Company co-founded by Edison. Telephone company co-founded by Graham Bell. I'm gonna go with electrical company.
Got 5 and 2. The 2s can go 1, 2. The 5 can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we should be good there. Everything should be sitting well.
Beautiful, well done. Just 2 more, and you get that bonus. The UN's Antonio Guterres.
You know, so I don't forget.
Thomas Greenfield.
We do want him down there too.
The UN's Antonio Guterres. Correct. Well done. Yes, Secretary General of the United Nations. Beautifully done. Okay. Just need this one answer. All goes down to this. Last 2 options are Chinese dish of deep-fried chicken in tangy sauce. Chinese dish of stir-fried pork, cucumber, and eggs. Chinese dish, deep-fried chicken.
There we go. Good success there. And land. Gonna move him up. These guys this way. These guys that way. Oh, wait. Where's my bomber at? No bombers around these guys. 1, 2, 3. They can't hit. So nothing can hit them there. I think I want to keep a little bit of a northern route going, just because we can get bundled up in all this mess down here, and we don't want to lose and then have them blitzing back through that way. All right. So they can hit one here and blitz tanks through here, but at least we got a counter punch coming through with infantry artillery, and then we got plenty of air around I could then hit, so we can counter punch. So I don't think he'll have to worry about the blitz through there. If he blitzes back here, we're okay there. So yeah, I think we're good. Just making sure no one can hit my transport.
Living with chronic migraine? 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more. Botox prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine.
Oh, I forgot I had my other transport coming. I could have. Oh well, whatever.
Talk to your doctor.
Botox effects may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away as trouble swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs.
So that gives me 7 units there. 1, 2, 3, 4 transports. This transport can grab some guys and go this way, support Africa. I don't know. Go get us some units, or we could pull a guy up here to grab this transport I put here. Can go 1, 2. He can go back up. These 4 can grab 2 more guys and go to Hawaii, or come back over here and cycle another one back around. And we always have the guy that can potentially cycle up this way too as an option. So he could grab those 2 guys. So we got options that we got the 7 guys here. We've got 5 transports. We could grab these 2 guys and go that way. We can come down, grab 2 islands here, and can go that way or that way. Or we can bring them back and then have another cycle go back out. Or this guy can grab these guys and go this direction. So we got options next turn. There we go. So going into US's turn. Obviously they got a build still to go. You know, 39 is what up the best is 13 infantry, 13 up to 88. So we're gonna have at least a 28-ish, about 30-ish attack power difference at 88 income. Both Germany and Japan are higher than US and UK, which is nice. So feeling pretty good right now. All right, so here we go on Germany 5. I think our usefulness of the battleship transport is starting to wear down, as well as our African troops. We're starting to run out of places to run and hide, as he's starting to feed into here. And these guys are kind of built pretty strong. It looks like he's trying to set up a Kaza stack. I'm guessing that these guys are going to come here to block me from getting there and trying to do a Kaza stack. I could try for stacking West Russia, but it's a little bit thin considering I'm feeling like we're doing pretty good. So before Germany's turn, we've got a 25 IPC advantage. I had 47, no, not 47, 45, so 88 income. You know, our attack power is looking pretty strong here. So I'm feeling pretty solid where we're at. You know, if we went in there, he has a chance of a little strafe with the UK and then hit with the Russians and have it's like a negative 10 IPC value for him, which that might be worth the rolling the dice in his position at this point. So when we look at this a little bit closer, with these bombers, he's covering the zones. He's got this fighter that can come over here and land on the carrier. This fighter coming over here. It looks like he's telegraphing to me that he's planning on stacking C-Zone 13. Because I've got 7 planes here, he's not going to be able to go to C-Zone 8. He's not going to be able to build enough for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, I don't even know what it is. He's got. Well, I guess he's got 34 sitting in there. He could potentially try to do a full drop there of another carrier. I don't know. 34, 3, 4, 5, so 24. He could drop 3 destroyers and a fighter. That'd be putting nothing down here. And that would give him 5 destroyers and a carrier versus my 3, 7. But I think his intention is to come here where he can bring this carrier destroyer, bring these guys in here. That's the only reason I can think of him, because I think the only place he can go to build with UK would be into 8. And I don't think he has enough for that. So I'm planning on him coming to 13, and that's where these fighters can go across and land on this carrier. This fighter, the UK ones, the US one, got fighters coming this way, bombers coming this way. You know, if I came here, the UK can't reach me. So that leaves the US fighter 1, 2, 3, 4. He'd need to take Persia and 2 bombers. So that's his least capable strike, is 1 fighter, 2 bombers if I brought the battleship transport into 17. However, my look at it is if I build 1 more bomber, because why not? We've already built 2. Why not build a 3rd one? If I build 1 more bomber, then I've got C-Zone 13 kind of in a dead zone. It's actually like 38% or something like that. But I'm going to be able to fly these guys and another Japan bomber where I could do a 1-2 shot on him. And unless he builds a UK boat, which wouldn't make sense. I mean, maybe he does. He wouldn't be able to come back and defend there. So just what I want to do is I wish I could take all 3 of these spots. So this bombers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wouldn't have anywhere to land, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 5, 6. They wouldn't have anywhere to land. But unfortunately, I can only take 2 of the 3. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and take these 2 for the money and make it where he'd have to land on Gibraltar. And I'm going to have my whole Air Force sitting here that could hit Gibraltar. So additionally, he's going to have to park his units on Gibraltar, which I'm sure that's not really where he'd like to put his units, right? So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to ready the battleship transport to die in C-Zone 14 this turn, and we're just going to try and hold North Africa as long as we can, gain a little more IPC out of this, and then accept the fact that we're getting ready to lose that. We're going to wait a turn to try to stack. We're going to move these 9 in, build 2 here, so that's going to be 11 coming in before trying to go into here. If he moves these guys into Caucasus, he may have another dead zone of West Russia, but I think he's moving these here to stack Kaza against me with his Russian AA sitting there. Otherwise, he's just throwing that AA away. So I thought about stacking West Russia, quote, stacking Persia with everything. Not that I can really stack it, but he'd have to hit here and send stuff here, and he couldn't hit here too. But really, he only needs a couple tanks to hit there. and that sets up the Russian. So he could still use his 6 fighters, 4 2s. So that's 12 he could hit there versus the 8 units I was going to put there. So he could still hit both. So I just don't think that's the option. I think we just got to concede Africa at this point. But we're going to try to continue to delay Atlantic Med another couple turns. So that is why we're building another bomber. So taking Morocco is actually more important to me than taking, was it Algeria, is that right? Yeah. Simply because, again, I don't want him to have somewhere where he can land these 4 comfortably and land his planes on top of it. So oh wait, that's not the bomber I want. I need that bomber elsewhere. We're going to take one of these guys. There we go. He's going to go there. He's going to go there. I think that might be everything. You know what? I do need to see what I need to move to France before I go too far. They're not going to hit. Kind of what happens here will depend on what I do with these guys. Good hit. Good miss. Good hit. Good miss. All right. Good hit, good miss. Good hit, good miss. Wow. That was a nice clean sweep. I cannot complain about that at all. Need him here so he can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here would be nice one. Oh wait, you know what? We don't need that. I lied. From here we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can still get 4 there. That works. We're good up there. We just need to figure out how many infantry we need to send to France. All he can hit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can't hit. He can't hit. All they got is a 3 infantry and a tank. So probably just 1 infantry is really needed, maybe 2. can hit 1, 1, 2, 3, so all those fighters could come back hitting into there. What makes it a positive value for... Yeah, so he could come into here. I think we're going to pull back. And we can kind of dead zone Egypt, trade Egypt a couple times maybe before we give it up completely. We only need 1 infantry coming back. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6. You know what? I'm going to be extra safe. Hope I'm not starting to play too conservative, but we'll put 1 extra infantry in France. One, two, three, 4, 5. So we can put the bomber down here again. Help keep pressure there. Right. Transport can't hit. Fighter 1, 2, 3, 4. Nowhere to land. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nowhere to land. Nowhere to land. Bombers 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nowhere to land. No other bombers, so bombers should be safe parking there. All right. There we go. Like I said, I'm try and bring some Japan air down here, so if he moves his carrier into here, then I'm ready to do a 4 and 4 strike on 3 destroyers, 2 carriers, 4 fighters, and do a 1-round strike. Maybe we take a carrier out, or we take some fighters out. If we can get it down to where we can bring, potentially, you know, for sure we should be able to bring 2 bombers, Japan Robinson Rain. Maybe we'll go ahead and drop 2 Japan fighters and 2 Japan bombers, and that way we'd have a 4 follow-up. Then he's just going to be looking at a 1-2 punch that he can't redefend. So, kind of wonder if I should have gone with my initial instinct of bringing them out to here and block the UK from going in and make the UK use theirs to hit him. But then he could have just trashed the destroyer, came back out this way. So, you know, anyways, interesting this little play there. Okay, so on UK 5, he bought 4 infantry, a tank, and a fighter. Putting the infantry and the tank down here, or what's that? 3 infantry and a tank, and then 1 fighter and 1 infantry up here. He did as expected. He hit the battleship. He did pull the destroyer in there, which gives me a 4 fighter, 4 bomber attack on his 2 carriers and 2 destroyers. And we're going to bring in our Japan fighters and bombers in range to make it a 1-2 if he moves his US into there. So hopefully we can make it a difficult maneuver for him to stack C-Zone 13. Otherwise, his other combats all went pretty successfully, so he did take it without any losses, I believe. Maybe he lost 1 fighter? No, I don't think he lost anything there. We'll see in a second. Trans Jordan he walked into. 2 fighter, 2 infantry, lost 1 infantry there. 1 fighter, 1 infantry to Sing Kang. He won that. So yeah, no, my battleship didn't get a single hit back. We were kind of counting on him getting a hit back. Because now that does make it where he can move his destroyer and he'll have 2 fighters, destroyer, carrier, and I'll have 2 fighters, 2 bombers, if that's what survives the first wave. Anyways, we'll see. We'll see what happens. And we'll go from there. So, with Japan, I had, what did I have? I had 43, 28, yeah, 43. So we're going to go ahead and get the other factory, because we're not going to get, with this strong core here, we're not going to get India anytime soon. So we're just going to keep funneling troops going this way. We've got our 5 transports, which I like to have for one for expansion. Put another factory in, and we're just max building units, pushing them towards Russia, while Germany tries to stay strong up here and keep Russia kind of small. So, industry build. We can only grab 6 units off here. This transport, we're going to go 1, 2, grab an island, guys, and then we can go here, we can go here, we can go here, wherever opportunity takes us. We're going to bring our destroyer and bring a battleship over so that he doesn't get an easy sink on them. And so we'll be good there. And then that leaves us 3 transfer for grabbing the 6 guys. So this guy's still free, so whoops. So we might as well do this. Don't really want to fly into the AA there. These fighters, I want to keep my air as much as all my air in range of West Russia. So even my guys landing here can go 1, 2, 3, 4, so that we can hopefully make a West Russia move next turn. But we can go ahead and hit these guys. We'll leave the carrier here. We got 1, 2. This guy can't reach. We're okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're okay there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So two bombers. Are we worried about 2 bombers versus battleship carrier? I don't think I'm gonna be too worried about it. If he does, it's only gonna be 1 transport there. My main transports are here. Bombers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're not gonna have anywhere that they can hit, so they're okay. He'll be safe. And we're going to put the fighters in here because we'll be able to, no matter what UK does next turn, I don't think we'll be able to stack France 1 more turn to get the fighters back out if we need to. So that might be all of our attacks. So the good thing is, yeah, we're picking up these island guys, got all these island guys off. We're going to be grabbing these island guys with this one. So we're doing a pretty good job, fairly efficient getting island guys into the battle at least. Ooh. Okay. Son of a gun. It's not what I was expecting. So we've got 5 guys coming up. 6. He will have 1 infantry, 2 tanks, 3 fighters. Well, no, make that'll be 2 infantry if I retreat them, but I will have artillery back. That was painful. Lost 3 infantry to kill a stinking AA. Erg. I will have enough coming back. Let's retreat them. It's a smart play. My passion wants me to go ahead and attack it and finish the attack there, but that was, I just hate stupid. At least we won this one. But that's going to give him an easy stack in Kaza. And he doesn't have to stack up here yet because I don't have West Russia. So he's going to come back, stack Kaza heavy. I'm going to get stuck with a whole bunch of units and these guys that's going to have to run. Anyways. I mean, we'll get out of it by moving Germany up, and I'll threaten him to attack anyways. Good gracious, how many hitbacks can you get in a turn? Alright, well, not a very successful turn for us that time, but we're still going to push forward. On delay. We gotta land them over here now. No choice of that. And all of our airs in range of West Russia, so hopefully we can do a 1-2. Battleship destroyer, he should be safe. Battleship carrier, he should be safe. Now it's a matter of nothing can hit here. And I think we'll be good. And so that gives us 8 to pick up off of there. So this guy can go back, those 3 can grab, this guy can continue the expansions. And there we go.
Alright, here we go. We will continue our massive Air Force game here. And I think we're going to continue to add to it as it is. So if I'm working the calculator correct, which who knows, I should have like a 96% chance at wiping his C-Zone 13 fleet with a 1-2 attack, because I've got these 2 bombers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 bombers, 4 fighters, followed by 2 bombers, 2 bombers, 2 fighters that can hit C-Zone 13. Now, he'll be able to reinforce, because my battleship did not get a hit back. He'll be able to reinforce anything that lives past the German fleet with a destroyer. But even if he does fighters before carriers, which would keep the fighters from landing, after the Germans hit, I still have it at like 96% chance to wipe. So even though it'll be painful on the German Air Force, I don't really need them for trading right now, because if we eliminate his transports, those are his last 2 transports. His only other transport on the board is this guy. So that eliminates the last 2 Atlantic transports, and really kind of, I have time to build some more planes back up for trading if I want to. And over here, the only attack U.S. did, by the way, was they attacked Morocco. They built the 2 destroyers, battleship, and fighter to try to get balance back in here, but I'm just winning this Air Force versus Navy battle. So, feeling good there. And then Russia, I feel bad. Russia, they attacked Arch and West Russia. Arch, they just lost their infantry and had to retreat. No, that was a 1v1. That happens. West Russia, he attacked my 2 infantry with infantry artillery fighter. He sacrificed a fighter in order to get it, which I'm not sure on that. I think he was just playing quickly and didn't realize that I can still just move in and stack West Russia still. You know, I think that the thought was that would prevent me from being able to land German planes to help stack West Russia. But Germany's gotten big enough here that we can go ahead and stack West Russia, and I don't even need Japan planes to help, especially since he lost a fighter for the counter, and he had to move his UK tanks down here. So his UK 1 is only 2 tanks and 3 fighters that can hit me, and then he's got 25, 14, 4, 1. I'm even gonna use one guy to go this direction and save some Japan troops and get a little bit more G income to continue to help them get massive while they wait on Japan to come up. So we'll be able to go there, and then from there with these guys, I'm going to move them up this direction so that, well, some I'll move this direction. I'll have to decide on that. I may need to do a little counting there, but it would be nice to then pivot to Caucasus and just make sure he doesn't slip back out Arch and into Karelia. We got to be a little bit careful there because we don't want to lose the north just to Russia. I mean, this is the one nice thing with wiping out the Atlantic Fleet. We've not had to have any troops up this way. We've got a whole 4 troops up this way. So we got to be careful that we don't accidentally come here and then let him squeeze. You know, Russia's pretty big here, right? Yeah, I mean, they've got a lot of units, so we don't want to accidentally let Russia slip by us. So we'll need to keep an eye on that as well. So I need to decide these 20 troops, how many I have go towards Baltic and Belo, and what do I have? Well, I can't send them to Ukraine now I think about it because they'll be in a dead zone. Duh. So yeah, we'll move them this way just so that they can reinforce West Russia or reinforce Karelia or come down here while they come down into Caucasus. We'll see. And we'll push as many of the we'll get J tanks in range of Caucasus and any of the planes that live in range, and see if we can't get to Caucasus the next turn on Germany's turn. Meanwhile, Africa, I'm pulling out of here now. We're just retreating. We're gonna centralize down here on Libya. I may put an infantry here just so you can't blitz back and forth, but actually I probably will, because I'm also thinking about if the Germans fight goes really well and just wipes the fleet here, I think the planes will end up landing on Gibraltar because he's got a stronger force there, which will allow me to do 4 shots on here, clear out Africa, let Germany just put 1 person there. He's got no transports, and then Germany can just focus on all this, any remaining air to focus on trading or stacking and keeping our little bit of income left here in North Africa, and just be as annoying as possible there at least. So we've got, I could buy a bomber. I was really thinking about buying a bomber, then I can only get 11 ground, and I think I might anyways. Upgrade that guy up to a bomber, especially since I decided to go ahead and get Vologda. I wasn't going to get Vologda originally, but that's a bonus too. And so that means I'm going to get 4 IPC this turn. We're going to leave Morocco alone. That'll give us 47. If we save 1, that'll give me 48. That's another bomber and 12 infantry next turn. So I think we'll do that, actually.
It's really nice not to have to worry about Karelia at all, because there's nothing, even if this doesn't succeed this turn, nothing I have to worry about there. I'll be putting 20 troops in range of it, so even if he was dropping a fleet, it doesn't matter. We've got that square. Now, obviously, we got everything going this way. We don't have any infantry down here because we've only needed 2 infantry to stack France with. So... I believe, well, I just need to get him down to 4 units. If I get him down to 4 units remaining in here, if he does fighters before carriers, that'll be 2 carriers, actually 3 units here, sorry, because the destroyer coming in. I need him down to 3 units in the battle. Then that would leave him 2 carriers, a fighter, and then a destroyer coming in. I'll take the shot with Japan. If he does carriers before fighters, then we got to kill the 2 destroyers, and even if we get him down to just 1 carrier left, I'd probably still take that shot. Destroyer, 2 bombers versus a loaded destroyer and carrier. I still think that's worth a shot. With Japan, it'll be kind of a 50-50-ish, but again, if he has carriers first, then we'll splash the carrier and the fighters up. But if he does carriers before fighters, I'll probably just go all the way through with the Germans to get the 4 hits. Four hits out the bat would just be peachy. 5 hits, better yet. All right. So I can retreat right now, and let's see, I got 5 planes versus his 3. I could retreat now, and Japan will be able to wipe the transports. And if he got 3 hits, he'd dig into my bit there. I think we'll retreat and let the fighters land where the fighters land. It does mean he'll be able to reinforce Morocco, I guess, in that regard. So, whatever. I mean, we could go ahead and just finish this, but I think these German bombers are better saved and let the Japan fleet wipe out the transports and the UK destroyer. So we'll retreat out of that. He'll probably blitz the tanks, hit the air, hit the UK air there. I didn't think about that. He'll do it, and then he'll be able to blitz his Russian tanks through and grab a little extra income. I mean, we'll be able to deal with it. It's not too huge, but what can we do to make that as annoying? How many troops do we want to put in Ukraine to make that annoying? I don't want to put more than 3, but if we do 2 or 3, what's that do to him coming through there? I think I like just a little mini stack. 3 makes it kind of a little scarier, and if he wants to trade Russian units for it, so be it. Since we're going to wipe the fleet, I think we just keep going, marching that way.
So Japan should easily wipe these guys. I'm just double checking, making sure I'm not forgetting something here. He'll clean that easily, so let's just pull back. 3, they can't hit. No, I want to leave an infantry there. I mean, he's going to clean it easily, but then he'd only have one guy left. I think we're just going to stack up here, and that way we have maximum flexibility with our bombers here and our fighter here. Now we could hit here. 1, 2, 1, 2. The fighter can't hit Egypt, but he could hit in here and land here, land back up here, actually. We're building another bomber, so he can now. That bomber can hit here, so we do want to make sure that we've got some infantry cushioning from this bomber. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, he's got 2 bombers that can hit there. So we do want to be a little careful there. 4, 5. You know what? All that being said, let's just be safe with these guys and maybe bring them up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So if we hit here, we have to land back. And I don't like landing back in the threat of landing back in here, so that's going to not be great, especially since you can bring tanks and all of this. So most likely we're going to lose Egypt. That's the downside here, I guess. I mean, I could put my bombers there. Man, yeah. I mean, I'm basically playing how to win better here at this point on this, but I think we can put 3 infantry there, and that would be enough of a potential deterrent on the bombers. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. And there we go. So we now have got 5 bombers on the board. Down to 1 fighter, though. So, but we don't need the defensive stacking points of the fighters right now. So that's why I went with another bomber build. And the bombers can reach better into Africa to help keep this income as long as we can. Make the most out of these 6 units remaining down there. And then after G's turn here, you know, again, this is after G's turn, so you got to take that for a grain of salt. But G still having 47, 48 income is great. Japan's been a little bit slower on the income, but G can just hold the ground until Japan finally gets up and running. I'd like to make my Japan play better in this game, but you know, that fleet, that American fleet, slowed me down a good chunk there. But we're now established where we're pumping out 13 units a turn. We're going to start cleaning up the islands. We'll probably leave Hawaii for a bit. And we're just going to keep pushing this direction. Now, again, it's going to take a while till Jay can overtake Russia, but it's going to be a really, really long time till the Allies can do anything on Germany. Continuing into Japan's turn here. I forgot I didn't even look at what UK did exactly. I did see they built a destroyer and they moved their tanks to Caucasus and their destroyer over here. What did they do? They bought three infantry and a tank. That means they saved money. He must be saving for a fleet drop. Surprise, surprise. Transjordan, sure. Egypt, sure. Burma. Ooh, looks like he must have had bad luck in Burma. Oh, he lost 2 fighters. Okay. The fact that he continued with the fighters tells me he just raged there. I'm guessing. I don't know why that would have been critical. I mean, I guess in protecting India, possibly. I mean, I guess he was... Oh, he had to move the destroyer. He didn't buy. That's right. He had to move the destroyer back. I guess he wanted dead so that I couldn't move him over to Africa. I guess that makes sense. But I wasn't planning on doing that anyways. I got 8 guys back here to pick up. So I don't think he needed to lose those 2 fighters. But at this point, I think the game is really starting to tilt, especially once we wipe 13 here. The game is really starting to tilt. We're going to continue to push these other J fighters. We're going to push them over to Karelia. I wish we could get him even to Finland. Well, maybe not, because he's got fight. Well, yeah, no, I wish I could get him to Finland so that we could put more pressure on C-Zone 7. But so be it. We will continue to dead zone Atlantic strategies, so we're going to get these other fighters heading that direction as well. We've got 13 production spots, 39 IPC, pretty straightforward buy here. Yeah, that's not worth it. I'm just going to do it quick and easy. I'm not going to mess around with it. Even though well, you know what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, we're just going to keep them over here. Keep our artillery alive. We'll just take 1 fighter down to West Russia instead. We should be fine there, and we should have another turn that we can export out. I haven't really counted all up the 1-2s here possible, but we've got 10 units coming in next turn. He did add a bunch of UK units that can attack in there, though, so we do got to be careful about that, I suppose. You know what? Yeah, I think I'm not doing the math, so let's just be safe. Let's use an arty on it. We do got to be careful, I guess. If we put the fighters in Karelia, Germany will go right before them so we can fill Arch back up. That's really the main thing I was looking at. I don't want the tanks to be able to blitz and hit me there with all his fighters. But you should not be able to, I don't think. We're going to move 1 of these guys over. Yes. Grab this guy next. I think that'll be it. I think we're going to leave India alone. Suppose we could take out this destroyer with the battleship carrier. Land our fighters back here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I mean, they'd have 4 fighters that could hit there. Yeah, let's just leave him be. He's not bothering me at all. Good deal there. The other game I was playing, I completely whiffed. I even had a fighter, and I completely whiffed it. Didn't even hit his guy, and he wiped my guys out. That was a little frustrating. Nice hit. There we go. Clean. There we go. Clean slate. Cannot complain about that at all. So there we go. Looking nice, clean Atlantic, round 6. I'm going to keep them south. I mean, they can still reach everything that he can drop, and I don't really know what... there's nothing really going on up in the north, and they can still reach up that way too. So down here helps. Gives me a little more defense to if he try to do to a bomber raid. We'll get that AA going up as quickly as we can. Keep a couple people going to the north. Don't really need him down there. Don't want to give this sub a 50-50, but maybe we can keep him somewhere somewhat more useful, like in here. So he can hit there, he can hit there. .51 helps start to try to pinch off that area. 59 is a shot he has. We could come up to 60. I don't think we need to go all the way to 60 though. Well, you know what? 60 gives me a shot at 64 next time maybe. If I really feel like I want to take that shot, which I highly doubt. Although that lets him come back down this way, and I can't really get back down to help him. So maybe that's not a good idea. So I want to stay in range of 45 in case he moves these guys over, builds bombers, brings his sub down. That would be a little bit annoying. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's safe here, right? We could just hang out here. I don't have any fighters coming this way, so why take them that direction? I think we just let them sit. We don't need to protect this zone. I suspect he goes up to 64, so that I can't take Alaska. Which is fine. I just shuck back and then do what I need to, but this prevents him from going anywhere useful. This destroyer makes this destroyer go the other direction. Alright. I think there we go. This is his only bomber. 4, 5, 6, 5, 6. He can't land anywhere. I mean, at this point, it's too late. If I goofed, I goofed. So there we go. What did he end up saving with the UK? So he's got 50 for the UK. He's got 1, 2, 3, 2 fighters that could land there, so he could build 14. Although I think he's just going to move these guys in range. Be ready to drop the UK and drop them. So with 50, what could he be planning with 50? That could defend versus my 5 fighters and a bomber, followed by 4 fighters and 2 bombers. Well, I guess these fighters wouldn't be able to reach there the first time. I don't know. Be curious to see what he builds. Maybe we'll build some more bombers for him from Germany. All right, there we go. All right, well, it appears that is a wrap on this game. He took his U.S.-Russia turn. He dropped a fleet in 11, stacked Egypt. He did move his sub up there as I expected, and all of that was just fine. Russia, as I thought he might try, he tried a shot at West Russia. It obviously went very poorly as there's still 15 units living there. He had 5 left, but it was over at that point, obviously. So he called it. My takeaways from this game is watch out. If you go back through the turns, watch how he used his tanks and fighters, UK tanks and fighters through Middle Earth here. I think that's the best thing. I still don't know about the Persia factory, but regardless, because you can even do it with just the India, because I end up, a lot of times in my KGFs, I'll end up with a number of tanks and such. But how he's constantly maneuvering and positioning where they could defend India, they could stack Kaza, they can put pressure on TJ, they could put pressure on West Russia, they could defend Moscow. So he's constantly positioning them, knowing where he needed to put the pressure at and where he needed to defend at. And I thought that was done extremely well, and did create some frustrating moments and made me kind of get stuck here. I couldn't push into Persia. I was hoping to blitz all. I mean, I got the Persia the one time, but I was kind of hoping to be able to take Persia and then stack Persia at some point, and or put him off of Caucasus. But yeah. So that's where we got to. Obviously, at this point, if he hadn't attacked, then he was going to have to retreat, and then he was going to get in trouble with Caucasus, India. Caucasus, Persia, India. So the big thing that made me win this game was the fact that I was able to eliminate the Atlantic Fleet. I have to go back. I don't even remember how I got that advantage and was able to take that first shot on him. I don't remember the steps off the top of my head now that led to it, but that'd be something to emulate, because I didn't have to worry about protecting Karelia at all. I could just keep sending units straight this way. I was able, for a while, able to stack with just air. You know, the most I ever put was 2 infantry in France to stack it, right? So that meant all my units were going straight to the front, straight up to pressuring Caucasus, and then eventually getting that West Russia stack. So I can't imagine that that's doable in every game, though. I just don't remember what I did to get to that point. I think it was, well, because he did the West Russia jam. Obviously, my first bomber living, so I bought
a second bomber and the 6 fighters. And so 6 fighters and 2 bombers, you can put a lot of pressure on the fleet. And because he let me get trade Caucasus early, that got me early higher income. So I was able to buy another bomber and another bomber. I think that's maybe how it came about, was just that I had a little more income, so I spent it on an extra bomber or 2 and just kind of played it from there. So yeah, I think that was good. And then, how I kept positioning along here, because this allowed, bombers built in Italy could hit TJ and anywhere in the Med and still get back safely to Europe, and then still be able to threaten back on C-Zone 7 at the same time. So I think my key, at least, in trying to combat this was to keep all my forces to the south, or as much as I could. If you'd gotten some shucking going up in here into the north, then I obviously would have had to have matched that. But if he was shucking up there, he wouldn't be able to buy as many tanks. Everything has its trade-off, right? So you just have to carefully make sure you're only sending up here what you need to get Karelia, and still continue to try and put a majority of your focus to put pressure down here on the south. So there's my take, and that's the end of this round. I hope you enjoyed this match, and we'll see what the next one brings.